Welcome to the ultimate guide of PT speaking. First, we're going to talk about all the modules of PT speaking one by one. Second, we will deal with the strategies which are required for each of the modules to get that 90. Third, we're also going to talk about the software perspective, basically how software evaluates each and every module, the do's and don'ts. And the fourth, last but not the least, we will talk about the templates. And most importantly, guess what? All of this we will learn in under 15 minutes. There are 5 sections inside the PT speaking. The number 1 being read aloud. The number 2 being repeat sentence. Number 3 being describe image. Number 4 being retell lecture. Number 5 being answer short question. So now we'll talk about the read aloud. First thing first, how many questions will appear in the read aloud? It's max 5 or 6 and not more than that. So now we will talk about how much marks read aloud contributes to speaking as well as reading, because it's an integrated module. Read aloud tests your reading skills, so it contributes 30 plus marks towards your speaking. At the same time, it contributes 30 plus marks towards your reading. This is how the read aloud looks like. At the top there would be a text. Look at the text below. In 40 seconds, meaning 35 to 40 seconds will be given to you. You must read this text aloud as naturally and clearly as possible. You have 40 seconds to read aloud, meaning once you start speaking, you also will get 40-second window of time to speak. If you carefully observe the picture, there is a tab called beginning in 40 seconds. So that is the time that is given to you in the beginning. Once 35 to 40 seconds is done, that will turn to recording, and at that time you will get a beep sound indicating the mic is now on. The headset that you're waiting will have a mic. The mic is now on. Now you have to start speaking. And when you speak again, 40 seconds will be given. You don't need that much of time. 25 or 20 seconds you will finish, and once done, immediately you will click the next button. Let's talk about how you are evaluated with respect to the PTE read aloud. You're evaluated with respect to 3 components. First is content, second is pronunciation, third is fluency. Content has 5 marks, pronunciation has 5 marks, fluency has 5 marks. Well, this is what Pearson says. But from the software perspective, well, the content is not a priority, meaning you don't have to be hell-bent on the content. Even if you miss few of the words, even if you mispronounce, misinterpret few of the words, or skip few of the words, it's absolutely fine, as long as for the remaining words you're fluent and have that crisp clarity and pronunciation. So basically what matters in read aloud is the fluency and the pronunciation, not just the content. Remember this. Now let's understand how to do the read aloud. The 3 main things that you need to understand. Number 1 being maintain the rhythm with a natural speed. So what is this rhythm with a natural speed? Right now I'm talking to you in a rhythm, meaning at a constant speed. This should be visible. This should be heard when you speak in the read aloud. The number 2 being make sure not to give intonation or stressors. So what is this intonation or the stressors? Some people sing market research is a vital part. Don't do this up and down. If I represent your voice in a graph, it should be a straight line. It cannot go up and down. The third important thing that you need to follow in the read aloud is maintain a monotonic speech. Monotonic speech in the sense, right now I'm talking to you naturally without emotions. So when you draw this graph, it's going to be a straight line. There will not be up and down. Remember these 3 things, and let's understand how to do the read aloud. First, I'll show you what is the wrong way to do a read aloud. So this is going to be the text. If I have to do the wrong way, then this is how I would do it. The Faroe Islands, an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, is an archipelago situated in the North Atlantic Ocean, comprised of 18 rocky volcanic islands. The Faroe Islands lie roughly halfway between Norway and Ireland. Well, this is the wrong way to do it. It's not just about the pronunciation, it's about the fluency. There was this natural speed missing, natural rhythm missing. Sometimes I was going fast, sometimes I was going slow, sometimes I was splitting the word, sometimes I was taking ample pauses and more pauses than required, and most of the times I fumbled. Well, if you speak this way, most probably you're going to end up getting 30 or 40 or 50 in PT speaking. So now let's understand what is the right way to do read aloud. The Faroe Islands, an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, is an archipelago situated in North Atlantic Ocean. Comprised of 18 rocky volcanic islands, the Faroe Islands lie roughly halfway between Norway and Iceland. Well, this is the way to do the read aloud. Let's quickly move on to the second module, that is repeat sentence. Well, 10 to 12 questions appear in the exam, contributes marks towards your speaking as well as listening, because it's an integrated module, meaning you listen to the audio and then you speak. So it's listening skill, speaking skill, approximately 30 plus marks towards your speaking and 30 plus marks towards your listening. So this is how repeat sentence UI looks like in the exam. You will hear a sentence, please repeat the sentence exactly as you hear it. You will hear it only once. The top box is for the audio. They're gonna play the audio beginning in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, then the audio plays. And once the audio plays, you will listen to it, and once the audio ends, if you look at the bottom box, the box which is situated at the bottom, there it starts as a recording. Right now you're seeing beginning in 8 seconds or beginning in 7 seconds. Once the audio ends, it could be beginning in 2 seconds, beginning in 1 second, recording. Remember, there will not be beep sound here, so you got to open your eyes, you got to be watchful and see when the mic is on. If you speak before the mic is on or after the mic is off, whatever you speak will not be recorded. Remember, if the software detects your silence for the straight 3 seconds, 4th second the microphone will turn off. So the moment the microphone is on, you will see the recording there, no beep sound. Once you see the recording, repeat the sentence. Once done, click next immediately and move on to the next question. Let's understand the evaluation criteria from the Pearson perspective. What Pearson says is you will be evaluated in repeat sentence with respect to your fluency being 5 marks, pronunciation being 5 marks, and content being 3 marks. They themselves have told that if you speak all the words correctly, if all of the words that you speak matching with the audio, you will get 3 out of 3 for the content. But whatever you speak is matching only with the 50% of the audio, then you don't get 0, you get 2 out of 3, and that's exactly where we need to target. The idea is, even if you get 2 out of 3 for your content, meaning you spoke only 50 or 60%, but you're fluent and your clarity is perfect, you're gonna get 5 out of 5 fluency, 5 out of 5 pronunciation, and 2 out of 3 content. So it's fluency 5, pronunciation 5, and content 3 would be 13, fluency 5, pronunciation 5, content 2 out of 3 would be 12. 12 or 13, when it's converted to 3 mark. One repeat sentence gives you 3 mark. So this 13 marks will be converted to 3 mark. It would be 2.85 or 2.87, which would be 3 only. The idea is very simple. The strategy over here is you listen to only 60%, the first 60 or first 70%, and speak them precisely, the first 60-70%, without fumbling, without compromising on your pronunciation. You get full marks. Let's understand the wrong way to do a repeat sentence. If this is the question, I'm going to play the audio now.
Automation is a term for technology applications where human input is minimized.
And if I speak, automation is a term for technology applications where human input is minimum. Well, you believe or you tend to assume that you've spoken all the words correctly, but software says, I was not able to understand anything because I was fumbling, I was hesitating. So all this will give you 0 mark towards your speaking and listening, though you spoke every word correctly. And what is the ideal way to do it? I'm going to play the same audio again. Listen to it carefully.
Automation is a term for technology applications where human input is minimized.
Automation is the term for technology applications. This will get you full marks. Or you can say automation is the term for technology applications where human input is minimum. This also will get you full marks. The idea is simple. It is not the content at all. It is the fluency. It is the crisp clarity. Whatever you speak with confidence without fumbles. Even if you speak all the words correctly, and if you fumble, it's going to be big 0. Remember this. Let's understand the next module. Describe image. 4 to 6 questions. Welcome, not a priority. You can expect some 8 to 10 marks to speaking alone. So it looks something like this. They're going to give you a picture. Any graph can come. Soon I'm going to show you that. 25 seconds will be given for you to prepare. And once 25 seconds is done, a window of 40 seconds will open. And you have to finish your speech in less than 40 seconds. They can give you a bar graph, pie chart, a line graph, or a picture like this. Anything can come. Remember this. So how we are evaluated? Very simple. Pearson says 5 for content, 5 for fluency, 5 for pronunciation. But from our experience, content has no relevance whatsoever. It's not going to give you mark because it's an image. Correct? If you have 1,000 people looking at an image, all 1,000 people, all 1,000 students will have a different answer. So software will not be able to evaluate clearly, correctly with respect to the content. As a result, Pearson is not giving preference to the content. All they want is the fluency and the pronunciation. So what is the strategy? Giving preference to the fluency alone is the strategy, not the content, not on the keyword, and not on the pronunciation. What is the misconception? People believe if I give more keywords, I get more marks. No, you give more keywords, you tend to fumble, you tend to hesitate. As a result, fluency you compromise, marks gone case. Remember this. So this is the template. We will just use this template which has 4 keywords. Keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3, keyword 4. We're gonna fill it with respect to any image. Any keyword is fine from the image, and just speak this fluently the way you did in the read aloud. Let me just show you a demonstration. The given image represents a beautiful image. There must have been a popular debate about the information present in the image for the keyword eyes and orange. However, information present for fins and tail seems to be false. From the image, it is clear that maximum value seems to be constant, which further states the importance of the topic present in the image. In conclusion, the given image includes a complicated data and analysis with all the sufficient data. Well, this is the way. It doesn't matter what you fill inside those 4 keywords. From the image, whatever you see, you put it. They're of least priority. What gives you mark is fluency. So be fluent, don't rush, don't go fast, don't go slow. Natural speed, maintain a monotonic speech, just the way you did in the read aloud. Next, we'll talk about the 4th module called Retell Lecture. 1 or 2 questions will come, and not more than that, and it's an integrated module like read aloud or repeat sentence. This, you're going to play an audio, you got to listen to the audio and then write and then speak. So it's listening and speaking. So accordingly, it contributes 8 to 10 marks towards your listening, 8 to 10 marks towards your speaking. Well, Retell Lecture looks something like this. You will hear a lecture, the play an audio. Once the lecture ends, they're going to give you 10 seconds to prepare. It says beginning in 10, 9, 8. Use this 10 seconds to understand the short notes that you have written while you listen to the audio. And once 10 seconds are over, you got to start speaking immediately. Again, a 40-second window will open. You don't have to speak for 40 seconds. 25 to 30 seconds, more than enough, just the way you did describe image. 20-25 seconds here as well. 25 to 30 seconds, more than enough. Once done, click the next button. Immediately, Retell Lecture done and dusted. So how you are evaluated? Pearson says it's 5 for content, 5 for fluency, 5 pronunciation. Since few of the marks will contribute to listening, you need to give few of the content, though content is not a priority. To some extent, if you give the content, it's totally fine. So what is the strategy? Very simple. You got to write 4 phrases, 4 or 5 phrases, each phrase being a small sentence. But how do we write 4 or 5 phrases? The idea is very simple. This is the strategy. When you listen, you don't write, and when you write, you don't listen. When you're listening, you will not write, and when you're writing, you will not listen. They're going to give you a booklet and a pen. You can make some notes. Randomly don't make notes just like that. What people end up doing, they listen and they write at the same time, which is so difficult to do. Handling 2 skills. You're handling 2 skills over here, so just divide them. Divide and conquer. When you listen, you will not write. You just listen for 5 seconds. Once 5 seconds is done, you have listened, you know what to write. Start writing. And when you're writing, don't listen. You just implement this 4 or 5 times. You will have 4 or 5 phrases with you using these 4 or 5 phrases. Have a template. Just speak. Done and dusted. I'm going to show you how I do the Retell Lecture and show you how I capture those 4 to 5 phrases and speak fluently using a template.
Hon, what are you doing with all that candy?
Oh, great. Now I'm going to have to find someplace else to hide my stash of goodies. You just can't trust anyone these days.
Now, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black.
What are you implying, Yael?
Well, did you know that in several laboratory experiments, scrub jays, relatives of the blue jay, hid their extra food more cautiously when other jays were around? In fact, if another scrub jay were visible when the first jay buried its food, the first jay was more likely to dig up the food later and rebury it in another location.
So what does that have to do with my candy?
Well, it shows that some birds are capable of more complicated behavior than we previously thought. Scrub jays are notorious for stealing food from each other, so the fact that they behave more cautiously when other scrub jays are present might mean that they're able to speculate about the future behavior of their observers. Birds from species not known for thievery don't show the same reburying behavior.
So I've got this text that I've written and I've got the template. I'm going to show you how I just speak. The lecture gives the important key points and the relevant information about find some place else to hide my goodie. What are you implying? In the beginning, the speaker explained about lab experiments, scrub jays are relatives of blue jays. Later, speaker mentioned about the importance of when the first jay buried its food. When does it have to do from my candy? Here, the speaker was ideally pointing at the fact that scrub jays are notorious. They behave cautiously and the featured behavior of observers. In conclusion, the lecture gives the important key points about scrub jays are notorious, they behave cautiously and the featured behavior of observers. Well, this is the way to do 4 or 5 phrases. I've taken more number of phrases here, not required, 4 or 5 enough. Have my template, lengthy template, gives you the fluency, just club them. Done and dusted. When you speak, remember this, don't focus on the grammar, don't focus on logically making sense, just speak. Don't try to understand what you write. Retell lecture. Done and dusted. The next module, the 5th module is answer short question. Dummy module, 4 or 5 questions will be there. They're gonna play an audio, you listen to the question, and once you listen to the beep sound when the recording is on, you reply to the question. As simple as this, gonna contribute some hardly 1 or 2 marks to the speaking, 1 or 2 marks max to listening, and not more than that. So what is the strategy behind this? Like I told you, it's not a priority. Listen to the question. If you know the answer, tell the answer. If you don't know the question or if you don't know the answer, just repeat the question or say something else. This is not a priority. If the question is what comes after Monday, you know the answer, you tell the answer as Tuesday. But if the question is who is ophthalmologist, let's say you know that the answer is eye surgeon, you can say eye surgeon, or you can also say the answer is eye surgeon. But let's say you know that he's a doctor but you're not sure that this person is specialized in this particular field, then you can say a doctor. But if you're not sure about anything else, you can say I don't know, or you can repeat who is ophthalmologist and click next. That's all it is. This is not a priority. I think that's all for today. I really hope I've given you fast-paced steps, entire techniques to do your PTE speaking and get that 90 out of 90 in your very first attempt. Well, if you believe the same, like, share and subscribe and leave your valuable comments in the comment section. Anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance, you can WhatsApp us to the number given in the description of this video. We have left a WhatsApp link. You can click on the link, send us a message. I'll be there, we will be there to help you guide in the right direction. Alright guys, this is Nakul, Nakul, Nakul signing off from SKILLS PTE. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care, bye-bye. Thanks much.